the city that was erased from maps. Some cities are forgotten by time, some are destroyed by war, some slowly decay until nothing is left. But there are stories that feel different. Stories where a place doesn't just disappear, it gets erased, completely. Not from the ground, but from maps, from records, from history itself. And this is one of those stories. A city that, according to multiple fragmented reports, once existed somewhere in Eastern Europe, and was later removed so thoroughly that even its existence is questioned today. No official confirmation remains, only traces. Everything begins with scattered references found in old Soviet-era documents, a name that appears once, maybe twice, and then never again. A small industrial settlement built during the Cold War period, constructed quickly, strictly controlled, heavily restricted. On paper, it looked like a normal development project. A factory town designed to support industrial production and research. Apartment blocks for workers, a school, a clinic, basic infrastructure. But something about it was always unclear. The settlement appeared inconsistently on maps from different years. One edition would show it clearly marked. Another edition, printed only a few years later, would show empty forest in its place. No correction notes, no explanation, just absence. This inconsistency is what first caught the attention of researchers decades later. Locals from nearby regions also had conflicting memories. Some insisted there had been a working industrial zone deep in the forest, guarded and inaccessible. Others said they never heard of any city at all. But a few testimonies repeated the same detail. Trucks entering the area at night, lights deep in the forest, and strict warnings not to approach. In the late 1990s, a journalist investigating Soviet archives stumbled upon a reference to something called Restricted Industrial Zone 7B. According to the document, the zone employed over 10,000 workers at its peak. But when he tried to verify this information, he ran into something disturbing. There were no supporting records, no population registry, no birth records, no death certificates, no school documents, no hospital logs. Nothing that should exist for a city of that size. It was as if the population had never been officially registered at all. Even more unusual was the way the archive entries were formatted. Some pages contained blacked-out sections. Others were partially missing, as if intentionally removed. When the journalist attempted to trace the location through satellite imagery from different years, another anomaly appeared. Early images showed a large, cleared industrial area deep in a forested region. Roads, structures, and rectangular building patterns were visible. But in later images, the entire area was gone. Not destroyed, not abandoned. Gone. The forest had regrown completely, with no visible signs of roads, foundations, or ruins. No remnants of human construction, just dense, untouched nature. This raised even more questions. How could an industrial settlement large enough for thousands of people leave absolutely no physical trace? One theory suggests that the site was involved in classified Cold War research, possibly chemical production, biological testing, or experimental energy development. According to this theory, something went wrong, severely wrong, and the entire facility was shut down overnight. But instead of documenting a disaster or leaving evidence of contamination, authorities allegedly removed everything related to the site. Buildings dismantled, records deleted, maps updated, as if the goal was not just to close the city, but to erase its existence entirely. Another theory is more unsettling. Some researchers believe the settlement was part of a controlled experiment involving human behavior under isolated conditions. A closed environment, a fully monitored population, a city designed for research rather than normal life. If that theory is correct, then the city was never meant to exist publicly in the first place, and once the experiment ended, it was simply dismantled and erased from all systems. There are even reports of individuals who tried to locate the area years later. They used old coordinates, archived maps, and satellite references. But when they arrived at the supposed location, they found nothing. No ruins, no roads, No signs of previous construction, only a silent forest clearing. One of them reportedly described the experience like this. It didn't feel like something was destroyed, it felt like something was removed, like it was never there to begin with. Today, if you search modern maps, there is nothing in that region. No city name, no marker, no indication that anything ever existed there. But fragments remain in old documents, inconsistent references, and incomplete archive files. Small pieces that don't fully align, but also don't completely disappear. And this creates a disturbing question that no one has fully answered. How do you erase an entire city without leaving a single confirmed trace? Was it a classified government operation? A failed experiment that had to be hidden? Or something far more unusual than any official explanation suggests? Because sometimes, the most unsettling places are not the ones that are destroyed by time or disaster. They are the ones that are carefully removed from existence, as if someone decided the world should forget they were ever there. And if a place can be erased so completely, the question becomes even more unsettling. What else might have been removed without anyone ever noticing?